What is the headline news of the 13th of September in the crypto universe? Well, stay tuned on Rock the Block Daily News with me, Eugene Tay. This episode was brought to you by our friends at Wanchain, the world's first cross-chain solution for financial infrastructure. Now, you may have heard of Wanchain 3.0, but to find out more about that, click on the link below and register yourself as an alpha tester. First up, on Pump Up Dumps today, we have two new stablecoins that have just been launched on the 10th of September. One is by the Winklevoss twins, Gemini Dollar or GUSD, and also Paxos Standard, PAX. So what's the difference or the similarity between these two coins? Well, let's take a look at the similarity first, why don't we? First, both GUSD and PAX are pegged to dollar 1-to-1. Second, they are both regulated by the New York Department of Financial Services. Third, they are based off ERC20 standard. Fourth, the codes are transparent and for the public to view. Fifth, they come with monitoring and updating capabilities based on technical jargons, compliances like BSA, AML, OFAC, whatever that means. Sixth, they have protection measures from illegal use. Now, so what are the differences between GUSD and the PAX? First, both tokens have unique codes. Second, GUSD deposits are made via State Street Bank, which you should be familiar with if you'll be using Gemini. And PAX, on the other hand, is split among 4 different American institutional partners. So you have options with PAX. Third, they use different auditors, BPM for Gemini Dollar and Witham for PAX. The latest news is that Gemini Dollars will be listed on B-Box Exchange. Now, you may have heard news about wash trading, and I've reported about this in one of my early daily news about 2 months ago. Some of these names might be familiar to you: OKX, Huobi Pro. Now, don't just take my word for it, because an interesting blog by Hacken Ecosystem documents wash trading happening in exchanges like Binance, OKX, Huobi Pro, HIT BTC, Bittrex, Polynex, and KuCoin. For those of you who are not familiar with what wash trading is, it's basically buying and selling to yourself, creating fake volume so that traders like you or me, when we look into these exchanges, we feel that, hey, there's liquidity, there's lots of action. This is where we're going to put our money because we think we can sell our coins. So what did Hacken Ecosystem find when they did their research? They found that by analyzing the Q2 of 2018 data for BTC USDT pair, they found that OKX and HIT BTC have well above average transaction volume. So Hacken Ecosystem concludes that OKX and HIT BTC have suspicious trade activities, and with OKX raising the most number of red flags. Again, this is something we talked about back then when the CEO left OKX for Huobi, and nothing has since changed, and they're still going about their ways of wash trading. Do people really care? Well, this is an unregulated terrain, so only time will tell what would happen to OKX. So let me know if this is really indeed true from your experience. In Mediasizing the Regulators, United Arab Emirates or the UAE, financial regulators and the SCA is now in the final stages of regulating ICOs. They have proposed a regulatory framework to recognize all digital tokens as securities. So you could be building a utility token in the UAE, it's going to be a security token anyway and be subjected to SCA regulations. You have heard of the British Virgin Islands or the BVI, where people will put their funds there to kind of avoid taxation laws. Have you heard of the Marshall Islands? Well, this is kind of new because the Marshall Islands have gotten the IMF or the International Monetary Funds in a tight bunch, as they are now issuing crypto as a authorized tender along with USD. Marshall Islands have recently approved a law to introduce sovereign virtual tokens to give its local economy a structure boost. What's interesting is that Marshall Islands is doing this to circumvent risk from being cut off from the international fiscal system, such as what Iran and Venezuela is doing. So now Marshall Islands, on one hand, they're depending on aid from the IMF. On the other hand, they try to be independent by creating their own virtual currencies, but they're getting slapped left, right and center from the IMF. So what really can all these small players do when they are constantly at the mercy of this central bank, the Feds and the IMF, and they can't actually do their own cryptocurrencies or virtual tokens to help their own economy, because the people who are in power don't really want them to be independent. Coming out from news of India, we have reported lots of news of scam from India, from call center scam to BitConnect scam, but something important is brewing on the 12th of September as the Indian Supreme Court begins final hearings in the case between virtual money exchanges and the Reserve Bank of India, RBI. By the end of the hearing, we will know if the court decide how much leeway exchanges will get from the banking regulators' crackdown. One such exchange, Uno Coin, has seen 200,000 traders dwindle down to just 20,000 traders after the crackdown in July. If you think that exchanges or cryptocurrencies are only up against RBI, you are wrong, because cryptocurrency in India are facing up against the entire Indian government, market regulator, SEBI, enforcement directorate like police agencies, and the income tax. So they are hit on all fronts, and I'm not sure how crypto is going to survive in India with such negativity and barrier to entry from people who are really high up there. It's going to be an uphill battle for sure, but all hope depends right now on the Supreme Courts, whether they are in a good mood or a bad mood. Now, in Founders and Use Chains, this is a very interesting story, and you'll probably be surprised, so stick to the end of this news to find out what is the kicker. So this person by the name of George Weixner has just launched his own crypto gaming company called Pocketful of Quarters. I like that name, by the way. And well, it's been sourcing for funds even before its ICO has gone public. The good news is that Weixner project has secured influential Grammy Award winner and producer Devor Harris to help him reach his 1 million target. Very modest right there. Devor Harris has worked with celebrities like Kanye West, John Legend and Britney Spears, but at this moment, Weixner project has just raised $94,000 and has about 109 days left. The game itself, which is already about a year old, is in development. Pocketful of Quarters will tokenize gaming credits by players engaging in the game, but can transfer them for use in other games at a later date. Weixner has the support of famous blogger Michelle Phan, but here is where the kicker really comes in. Weixner is just 12 years old. So now Weixner is the youngest person in the world to have raised an ICO, which is also SEC compliant. French soccer team PSG has plans to issue its own cryptocurrency to incentivize participation from fans around the world. PSG currently boosts players like Brazilian star Neymar, said it will partner with Malta-based blockchain startup Socios to launch a fan token offering. Well, what will this token do? It will give fans the right to vote on jersey choices and opponents in friendly matches and so on. Have you ever wondered whether cryptocurrency is going to move up or down, or is the market too volatile to predict? Well, NASDAQ has a solution. It's now building a tool to predict price movements of cryptocurrencies. It will integrate this tool into Analytics Hub and provide institutional investors with the ability to trade with hundreds of various crypto assets. NASDAQ also is going to join the exchange race and will be running a centralized cryptocurrency exchange called DX Exchange. How creative is that? Which has 500,000 pre-registered users. The launch is currently planned for November this year, and it has already entered into beta phase. The initial service will support up to 500 crypto assets and will look at how funds flow from wallet to exchanges and social media such as Reddit and Twitter. Hey NASDAQ, you forgot about Telegram and Discord. We did a story once about Bitmain and Bitway some time back. It appears that Bitway is now making further inroads into irritating the hell out of Bitmain even more. The Saint-Germain-based mining chip manufacturer is led by Yang Chou-Sing, which is a former chip designer director at Bitmain. He has raised 140 million yen, that's about USD 20 million, to give Bitmain business a run for its money. Now, considering that Yang was once the head engineer for Bitmain's chip, Having Yang coming out as a competitor will certainly drive Bitmain nuts, because since Yang has left the company, Bitmain has not innovated anything. Folks in the industry have also claimed that Yang's WhatsMiner line of mining chips will be a game changer. This is apparent from test results showing that WhatsMiner M10 is being 30% more energy efficient than Bitmain's flagship N-Miner S9 Hydro. Bitmain so far has received almost 1,000 units pre-order and plan to launch its M10 in September 19, and WhatsMiner costs only $1,600 USD. But Bitway's challenge is trying to go against Bitmain's 85% control of the cryptocurrency hardware mining market. Well, competition is always good in this case because it keeps the majority shareholder in check and maintains the vision for a decentralized mining market. And that's all the news we have for you today on Rock the Block Daily News. Well, don't forget to like, subscribe, and go up to our website on www.rocktheblock.live and drop your email into our newsletter subscribe button, where you get a lot of information that we don't cover online, and we do the research for you busy folks, because we know, well, that's really important, but you guys don't have the time to do it, so let us do it for you. And also coming up in October is the 10th year anniversary of Satoshi's white paper of Bitcoin. Now stay tuned for that, because we're going to release some wonderful news that might help you get yourself some Bitcoins into your wallet. Well, my name is Eugene Tay. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and don't get left behind.